Peace, greetings, family. Welcome back. We doing back-to-back nights tonight. You see, I usually don't do this that much no more. Back-to-back nights. I'll be needing my breaks in between, but hey, spirit calls for it, so I'm the vessel. Um, Let me know if y'all can hear me before we get started. It's gonna be a very powerful show tonight. Let me know if y'all can hear me before we get started. Let me just make sure they can hear me because we got an important show for y'all tonight. Important show.
Yes.
Especially in today's culture where everybody's so promiscuous and the drugs circulating and everything. Yes, you can hear me? Okay, good. Yeah, about time. I appreciate y'all being patient with me. Y'all know I'm primordial, so I'm trying to adjust to this time clock we use on Earth. I apologize. I got a lot of adjusting to do, y'all. I apologize. All right. So yeah, make sure you share the link. Like I said, this is very important. Before I get to what I'm about to get to, brother Yosef, welcome back to the show, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Glad to be here.
Yo, they loved your first appearance on the show. They absolutely loved it, brother.
I'm grateful.
Absolutely.
I'm
They
grateful.
said you gotta have that brother back.
I'm grateful.
Yeah,
I'm grateful.
yes, yeah. So we about to get into some real esoteric talk for y'all. Hard to find on a Tuesday at 10 p.m., but I'm glad I got the channel for that. Before we do, like I said, family, I want to make sure. Well, let me let you know this video is sponsored by the 2022 Manifest Destiny Virtual Retreat. Family, I want everybody in the room and everybody who watches this video to be at this retreat, this virtual retreat. It's gonna be virtual. You're gonna get a Zoom link. There's gonna be a chat room. There's gonna be a community on the app, the Unite the 99 app. A lot of speakers are gonna be there. I can't stress to you enough. I was just telling Blue Pill Kick Simon yesterday that I feel like for me personally, this is like year one for me. It's a whole new paradigm. 2020 was officially the end of the old paradigm. This year is the beginning of a new one. I got new energy. I got new goals. I got a new perspective on life. This queen right here, one of the purest people I've met on the internet. This is Orisho Shun, and she got a powerful energy. She's gonna be teaching y'all about health, food, healing, and her energy, her EMF field is powerful, and she's pregnant. So she can help out everybody who's giving birth during these turbulent times and during these times when we're being forced to do a lot of things we don't want to do. I seen a video of a newborn baby getting some shit stuck up their nose, and it just disgusted me. The barbarism that is going on in society now. And what we have to realize is that it's not time for us to survive, it's time for us to thrive. And to thrive, we have to take control of our minds. We can't let the environment control our minds. We have to use our mind to control our environment. The one key to ascension, family, is I would say to become greater than the default program we incarnated here in this realm. At the end of this whole conference is going to be an interview with me and David Icke. I finally get to interview him one-on-one. He got the drop on the Jabberwocky. I ain't gonna lie, he got the drop talking behind the scene. He got the drop. He's banned from YouTube, banned from all the platforms. So he ain't gonna say it on the platform. But if you got a site for him to go to, he's more than willing to share the information that he can't share on these platforms. So yeah, it's gonna be a packed weekend. It's a 2-day event. Make sure y'all sign up early. Tickets are limited. You know what I'm saying? And also, real quick, shout out to King Simon. He's one of the best when it comes to numbers. One of the best when it comes to numbers. Text me your full name and date of birth, 347-496-1022. All right? Without further ado, I want to get to the show because this is important. But fam, we in some important times. Like I said, that video I seen disgusted me. And as a fellow YouTuber, brother Yosef, you know the shadow banning and the censorship that exists on this platform. So we usually say more like, I know you got a Patreon and you say more the heavy duty stuff on the Patreon. So
Absolutely.
this just we have to be strategic with how we maneuver. And yeah, it's gonna be David, it's gonna be powerful. It's gonna be real powerful. Shout out to King Simon in the chat room, my brother right there. But like I said, family, to introduce this brother once again, for those who just entered, this brother's heart energy resonated with me. The brother that I'm talking to right now, I'm getting ready to interview, and I had to reach out to the brother, and this just had to go down. So I think this brother's extremely important. I'm connecting with people that I feel is important for these times we live in, family. This brother's extremely important. Brother Yosef, a powerful topic. Spiritually, we all heard of sexually transmitted diseases, but
Yes.
today we're going to talk about spiritually transmitted diseases. I mean, it's powerful. Oh, and family, speaking of the flyer I just showed you, the link is in the description. So if you want to sign up, the link is in the description, just to let y'all know. But yeah, Brother Yosef, man, I mean, whoa, these times is important.
Absolutely.
And we this is a topic that I think we all need to learn and teach our community about, because it's like a silent killer, man. It's a silent killer, man.
Absolutely.
Yo, brother, to start out with, what would you define? Let's get a definition. What would you, because we know sexually transmitted disease, we think about sex. When you talk about spiritually transmitted diseases, STDs, does it have to involve sex? Is it just toxic friends? Talk to me about the definition and what you define as spiritually transmitted diseases.
Okay, absolutely. Great question, man. So pretty much a spiritually transmitted disease is the first step to getting any disease. Because the thing that people have to understand is that if you have cancer, if you get lung cancer, I don't care if it's HIV, even the jabba dabba do, whatever it is, if you get any of those things, we got to understand that it always starts in your aura.
Yes.
We got to be clear on that. Like, it starts in your aura first. If you let it sit there and let it fester, it will develop into a physical ailment. You know, so you can have dis-ease in your body, but you always have dis-ease first spiritually, right? And that's what people got to understand. So if you know grandma is sick, your cousin got this, your cousin, whatever it is, understand their aura is sick. If you can cleanse the aura energetically, you know, I did a video about different levels of spiritual healing, and I talked about how first you have a physical healer, which is an herbalist, and the herbalists are very powerful. They can pretty much heal you to a certain extent. But if you got stage 4 cancer, it's very hard for a herbalist to try to reverse that, you know, because they can get it early and knock it out. Your cancer will be gone. But when it gets to stage 4, you got to understand you will need an energetic healer at that point, right? And if an energetic healer is not powerful enough, you will need a divine healer, somebody who can literally pull on the power of the deities or the gods or the angels to actually, or the ancestors. Some of our ancestors are angels, right? Dealing with the Orisha and stuff like that. So you can pull on these energies to actually heal this person. You will need a miracle in some cases, right? The person done died, you might have to bring them back to life. That's a divine healer. So all sickness, I define spiritually transmitted disease as the first stage of disease in the body or in your person. The first stage of it. It happens in an aura, and then it slowly manifests down into your physical body. And that's what people got to understand.
Now, this is the first stage of sickness. Does this sickness usually come from invisible entities, people that we come across every day, or a combination of both? How do we, you know?
Man, it comes from everywhere. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
There's so many different varieties of it. You got what they call hungry ghost. Another word for hungry ghost is attaching spirits. You know, spirit attachment. There's so many different words for them. Debunks. These are pretty much dead people that attach to your aura. You know, they probably died as an alcoholic. They still mad. You go to the bar thinking that it's all good. You got no protection on. You go to the bar, one of these people jump on you, and all of a sudden you start being attracted to a person that drinks alcohol, or you start wanting to drink alcohol, or having dreams about drinking alcohol, or you get this anxiety or depression on you. You don't know where it came from, right? Then you got negative energy, straight up negative energy, being around negative people, which for those who have eyes to see, when you look at spiritual divine energy, it's always like clear orbs, or it looks like white raindrops or white orbs coming down, right? Negative energy are like black clouds. So you can see this black cloud in people's aura sometimes. So you keep hanging around a person that's talking down on people, or you keep hanging around a person that never happy, they got negative issues all the time, and you try to help them, and now they draining you. They're just adding negative energy, because negative energy always seeks to impregnate you with it. It always seeks to spread itself. So there's so many different places where this energy comes from, brother. There's so many different places. And that's why people got to wear protection, because you just never know. You walk into a grocery store, take somebody's money, you touch their hand, some of that energy done jumped on you. It's really that simple. I've seen it happen.
When you say wear protection, what do you mean? How do you wear
Um,
protection?
it's a lot of things that people can do. Okay, so the aura, right? The aura
Yeah.
itself is like water around your body, literally. That's how it looks. It looks like water.
Mm,
So imagine yourself sitting in a tub of water, but you're walking around with this tub of water all the time. So
mm,
just like a stream, if a stream slows down, a river slows down, it gets dirty, picks up leaves, picks up dirt, right? Everything starts to settle. So your aura does the same thing, family. Your aura does the same thing. So if you don't keep things inside your aura that's going to keep your aura moving or keep it electrified with energy, then your aura is just going to slow down, and it's going to constantly attract this negative energy. One of the things I tell people to do, I want to tell people a few stones that they should get. Everybody know the basic stones, black tourmaline and all this stuff, but those are cool stones. Those are good stones. But a certain stones I noticed over time that people just should have, period, point blank. The first stone I would say is petrified wood. Get you a piece of petrified wood and just carry that with you. It's a very high in electric energy, right? A very high in electric energy. Another one I would say, and I got a lot of this, fulgurite. Get you some fulgurite, right? Fulgurite, family, is a crystal that was created by lightning. By lightning. So this is from heaven to earth coming together to create a gemstone called fulgurite, right?
I need that, brother. I need that. What?
Yeah.
How you say that? Fault? What? Say that.
Fulgurite, Fulgrite. I believe that's how you spell it. Fulgurite. Fulgurite, man, it has lightning inside of it.
Woo.
Lightning inside of it, family. So imagine walking around, and I'm going to be showing the people on my Patreon a powerful spell to do with this very soon, a powerful grid to do with this very soon, because I keep these in my house, man.
Yeah.
Fulgurite is, listen, man. See, it's not always about keeping negative energy away. It's about just having your aura so electrified. They like, I can't come over there. There's too much light over there. So this will keep your energy moving. Trust me. And you can simply get one of these, family. You can simply get you a medicine bag, because it's a little brittle. It's hard, but it's a little brittle. It's pretty much sand and electricity. So get you a medicine bag, or get you one of these little, what do you call these things? Crystal cases. Carry that thing around. I recommend carrying it in a medicine bag. It's my favorite thing to carry it in. And get you this fulgurite crystal and electrify your energy. I talked about it on my Instagram and a few other places, but this stone right here, these two stones, fulgurite, petrified wood, powerful stones to walk around with, and also something I used to sell. I don't sell it anymore, but everybody should have a helm of awe. Some people get mad when I put the symbol up and they say, "Oh, it's a European symbol." I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know nothing about no European symbol. You know what I'm saying? This is a helm of awe. This symbol right here will take fear and negative energy and reverse it back to the person that's sending it to you. Very powerful for evil eyes, protection. This thing never fails. And this is made out of shungite. It's something I created. I used to sell them a while ago. But get you any symbol like this. Very powerful, family. These things will keep your energy moving. So that's what I mean by keeping energy flowing and moving. Wear these protection pieces to keep your energy moving. And spirits don't want to be in there. They need something that's stagnant. And then we wonder why we feel stagnant, because your aura is stagnant. And we got to understand that.
In terms, let me ask you this. In terms of since our aura is our first line of, would you say defense against? Was our first. So since our aura is our first line of defense against outside entities, and I don't know if I should even say outside entities, because they are only attracted to us through our thoughts. So it's like they're outside, but they're in. You hear what I'm saying? We're we're attracting them from the inside at the same time. But what percentage would you say our aura? Because this is something that people always wonder. What percentage is it like our mood, like our stress factor and how we feel versus the things we eat? Because they'll say that the processed foods, these entities, creates parasites in our bodies, and that's how we get them, and everything. So what percentage is it our mind versus the food we eat?
That's a very good point, man, because the food we eat definitely lowers our energy, and the parasites in the food or the vibration of the food, because the food's not real, right? A lot of the food's not real. I even warn people about eating you know, when I was on here before, I joked about the vegans attacking me, right? And I was talking about, I don't even know if I should talk about it, you know, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, you know, the foods, you know, the seedless grapes, the seedless foods, very dangerous. And I know people who are vegetarians or vegans, they eat the seedless grapes, you know what I'm saying? It ain't real, you know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as a seedless grape. But at the same time, you're robbing yourself of the minerals and the foods you need. You know what I mean? So yes, the food definitely plays a huge part in lowering the energy of your aura from the inside out. It's like the inside man. You know what I mean? So that's why it's important that we do these cleanses. We cleanse our body so our skin could be clear, the insides of our body. That's why I love Harataki. You know, Harataki is a great herb that cleans your body and also raises the oxygen levels 300 times. Raise the oxygen levels 300 times. So I talked about that so many times on my channel. But that's these are things we got to do. So the food plays a role with that. But also going back to the first line of defense. Yes, your aura is your first line of defense, but honestly, it's your ancestors. Okay, your ancestors is actually your first. If you're feeding your ancestors correctly and you're helping them, they can help you. If you can empower your ancestors correctly, they can help you. They're really supposed to, according to the cultures, your ancestors are your first line of defense spiritually. Then if the ancestors, you break through the ancestors, you know what I mean? Then you can get to the person's aura and do all this other stuff. That's actually supposed to be the first line of defense. Any culture will tell you to honor your ancestors. The ancestors are so important as a defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying? They go in first. They shield you first, and then everything else shields you after that. So yeah, the food, we got to watch the food, definitely. Drinking the right water, having an alkaline diet. I agree with all that stuff, brother. That's a very secretive way that they snatch your energy with the parasites and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So yes, I agree with that 100%. But also the ancestors is a good line of defense before you get to the aura too. So I wanted to throw that in there.
In terms of, let's talk about sex, because that's what a lot of people think about when we say STDs. How can you, what's the process of getting a spiritually transmitted disease through sex? How does that happen?
Man, bro, I'll be honest, brother. It's the easiest way to pass something on, especially for women. Women got to be careful, you know,
because women more than men. Women more than men.
Women more than men, because women are magnetic by nature, you know, and women, you know, they naturally absorb. So when you got this guy, you know, he letting off and you over and over and over. He out here killing people, breaking up families, hustling, doing what he do. He's doing negative things.
Yeah.
And you know, you're going to college, you're trying to live your life correctly, but you if you notice over time, you're becoming a negative person. And you don't understand why. You start arguing with them, fighting with them, you don't trust them. And you know, you got to be careful who you let in your vessel. Now, brothers too. Because when you enter into sex, you're entering into a contract. So when you have sex with
you would call it an energetic contract. Sex.
An energetic contract, absolutely. You enter into an energetic contract. So when you're having sex with a person, you got to be careful because you're agreeing to everything that comes with them. As soon as you lay down with them, you're agreeing to everything that comes with them. So if this person got psychological problems and they think about hurting people, or they just a messed up person, and all of a sudden, I promise you will have those thoughts. It's just a matter of time. Or it might be somebody you went to Vegas one weekend. Everything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And it's a reason why they say that. That's not just a word, it's the energy over there. You know what I'm saying? Because spirits are territorial. That's something that people need to understand. Spirits they deal with territories. It's the reason why Chicago do what it do. And then you may go down to another state and it does what it does. That's what it is. So what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's what it is. Since they call it Sin City. And a lot of demons and spirits be over there. That's where they go for field trips. You know what I'm saying? So you get up with somebody over there. You know, you hanging out with them, one night stand, boom. You get back to the house, you having all these thoughts about killing yourself. You don't know what it is, because maybe a person may not be spiritually astute. They don't understand energy. They don't know what it is. They're having all these problems. That's because you laid down with the wrong person and you agreed in the contract to take in everything that comes with them. Everything that comes with them. So we got to understand that. You know, I deal with people like that all the time on consultations. You know, they have issues, and I'm like, you know, and it be stuff people they deal with. You know what I'm saying? So sex is the easiest way for these spirits to get in. You know, it may take a little time for them to slowly attach to you as people touch you and you're hanging around people, but sex is like almost instantaneous. when you make that contract. So we got to be careful with that. Very careful.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%, brother. I always tell people I credit with my ability to have longevity in everything I do. Whether I done seen a lot of people come in this conscious community or spiritual community, and they last for 2-3 years and they out of here. The information drives them crazy, or just being around all the energy drives them crazy, and they don't last long. I've been doing what I do, brother, since 2005. Since I was a pup, a small pup, probably 22, 21. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I credit this. I always tell people the fact that I've had a girl during the whole duration. I've been with one person, my queen, during the whole duration. So my energy doesn't get spread all over the place. The energies, the personalities, all the issues, it's not going everywhere. So I'm sharing that with one person. So my energy, it keeps me looking youthful. I don't look my age, and also I'm able to last in this game a long time. Where we've seen brothers this year go crazy. That important people in this game. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about what? And with me saying that I attribute a lot of my ability to maintain longevity and what I do and my success to being with one mate. What would you say about a person who is promiscuous? Because some books like Think and Grow Rich talk about how having a high sex drive is important for success. So talk to me about having a high sex drive and being with multiple people versus, having a sex drive but maintaining that with one person.
Absolutely. Well, as far as having a high sex drive goes, people have a right to be people, but people got to understand there's consequences. You know what I mean? You can sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. We all grown. People like to have fun. And hey, people get, if you a single man, a single woman, brother look good, sister look good, you might have a one night, but you got to understand who you never know who you're dealing with. It's like Ted Bundy. The woman used to say Ted Bundy was the finest man in the world. The white woman used to say Ted, but he thinking about, I didn't like you, but I'm gonna kill your ass when I get home. And the woman had no clue. And I saw a documentary on him. He's like GQ sitting in the court with the suit on. Women had no clue. This dude's like, you at the bar chilling with him, he's a demon. This man's thinking about killing you when you get to the house. You know what I'm saying? So people gotta be careful. It's not being promiscuous like that is not good. This is why dating is important. Today, dates are rare today.
Very rare. Very rare.
Dates are rare. People don't date like that.
You get in that box the first night, brother Yosef. The first night you get in that box. No wait time.
Yeah, you gotta be, you know what I'm saying? You gotta take time to get to know people. Dating, that's why dating is important. You gotta court a person and date a person. Don't give it up. Wait a while. You know what I'm saying? Brother, even if she trying to throw it at you, wait a while. You know what I'm saying? Wait a while, because you got to get to know this person. This female could be a demon. You have women serial killers. You have females that set dudes up to get robbed. Come on now. Set dudes up to get robbed and get beat up and get killed and all kind of stuff. You never know who you're dealing with. So if they're attractive and you say, man, I got to say something, say something. Ask them out. That stuff don't happen. It's Netflix and chill every day now. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get to the house the first day. So now it's like, take your time with it. Date a person, and take your time, because it's consequences, right? It is consequences, and that's something people don't always understand. There's consequence. I don't care how fine she is, brother. You don't know who she is. Sister, I don't care how fine the brother is. You don't know who he is. You know what I mean? So take your time with it. Take your time. Now, on the other side, being with one person, that's one of the best things that you could do. Everybody don't get that lucky, though. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not that blessed. I've been with my wife since she was 19 and I was 21. You know what I'm saying? I'm 40 years old now. She's 37 or something like that. 37, 38. So at the end of the day, like, I've been with her for like 14 years, or, married for 14 years. So I know what you mean when you say, you with this person, and now the energy that you share is with them. If y'all got any negative energy between each other, y'all could work that out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because this is the only person you've been with. You know what I mean? And that's the very powerful, and it's very rare today. I hate to say that, especially in the Black community. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to go down to the court and get married. to be to commit to a person, we don't need paperwork. Some people are. I'm married. You know what I'm saying? I was a Christian when I got married. You know, so I've been married for the. But you don't have to do that. Y'all can sign a contract and y'all can choose to be together, because really the real marriage is sex anyway. That's
Bobby,
right. Every time
Bobby Hemming used to say that. Bobby Hemming used
to say
that.
Yeah, and that's a true statement. Every time you have sex with a person, you just married them.
Why?
You married them because of the connection that it creates, this cord that it creates between y'all, this bond. And really, it comes from the penis entering the vagina, breaking the hymen, you know, and the blood and the semen mixing together. That was a contract between the two families. There's you know, you got blood in your semen, and then her hymen bleeds. So when that mixes together, that's a contract. And even if she's not bleeding, the fluids between the male and the woman, the fluids are a contract. So when you do that spiritually, you marry the person for pretty much 7 years. Because there's a cord, there's a spiritual etheric cord that attaches to you. You know what I mean? When you do that, and it can last up for 7 to 10 years, depending on how emotionally attached you are to this person. It could be 7 to 10 years. Emotionally attachment to a person, it could be dangerous, especially if that person has moved on and you still got this emotionally attachment to them. You know what I mean? That could be a negative thought form, which is another thing that could mess your aura up, which is another form of a spiritually transmitted disease. So it's a lot of versions of it, and we got to be careful with that, man. Very careful, brother.
Wow, that's this is good information, you know. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody. I see.
I want to say this too, real quick, brother.
Yeah.
I want to show that everybody don't seen this book before. I don't talk about this book, but people sleep on it. The Crystal Bible, right?
Yeah.
Everybody don't show this book, but there's a stone in here that y'all need to get, and y'all don't need to be joking around. Y'all need to get this stone. All right, it's called Kunzanite. Okay, Kunzanite. All right. Now let me read what they say Kunzanite does. Kunzanite is a protective stone, working on the individual and the environment. It has the power to dispel negativity. This stone shields the aura from unwanted energy, providing a protective shield around it and dispelling attached entities and mental influences. And dispelling attached entities and mental influence. It says it right there, family. All right, it says it right there. So this is a stone called Kunzanite, that another stone that everybody should wear. So it's 100 million stones out there, y'all. It's about knowing what's the right stones to wear. So if y'all get y'all some fulgurite, some petrified wood, and some Kunzanite, y'all aura gonna be straight. So I just had to throw that in there because I forgot to throw that in there.
No, definitely. I love the fact that you share your books, your literature. We don't get that much often with speakers these days, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Speaking of, you know, we talk about these energies, and these energy vampires and these entities or parasites that want to cling on to you and rob you of your essence and your energy. The same way, you know, sometimes they say as above, so below, as within, so without. The same way in this realm, when you want to commit a crime or you want to do something bad, there's police that be like, hey, come here, bad guy, come here. They come to get you. Are there police in that realm, in the invisible realm, where a nigga, I'm drunk at the bar, a nigga want to take over my body, and there's another invisible entity that's like, hey, get over here, leave that person alone. Do they have, you know, is there a form of police or security in that realm, brother?
It's funny you say that because it is in different ways. So let me explain what I mean. Not police per se, right? But people themselves have ancestors, or they'll have spirit guides, angels, sometimes deities that will protect them. And they will literally tell a spirit, get away, you don't come around here. They will literally do that. Or just because the spirit name ring bells in the spirit world, the entities look and say, oh no, that's such and such. You know what I'm saying? Can't deal with that. You know what I mean? It's funny you said that too, brother, because I was going to show this mudra that I printed out a while ago, but I shared it in one of my videos I did on Patreon called Spiritual Tech. I forgot the name of the lecture I did on there, but it was a while ago. But this is something called the releasing of the Hell Soldiers. Okay. Now the Hell Soldiers are so what we're talking about here is Chinese sorcery, family. Y'all need to understand and stop being so. People out there need to understand and stop being so like one-minded when it comes to magic. I don't care if it's albino magic. You understand? White man magic. I don't care what it is. If it works, it works.
Uh-huh.
And you got to understand where the source came from. All magic came from Africa. You know what I mean? So people literally get stuck on that. You know what I'm saying? Even with the ancestor money and the hell notes and stuff. Nobody wants to burn the stuff with the J Emperor on it. You know what I'm saying? And I need Anubis on mine. And I'm like, I don't understand y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand y'all. We deal with the sorcery no matter where it comes from. That's how we deal with it. Yes. So this is a spell that's very powerful. I know because I've used it. It's called the Releasing of the Hell Soldiers. Okay. This is the symbol you want to print out. And anybody who want this thing, I could send it to them. Just email me. But this is the symbol you want to print out, or you could draw it. So anybody who could pause this video and watch it, you could draw this symbol right here, right? On some parchment paper. Get some parchment paper, okay? You want to burn the paper up. Draw it with some dragon's blood ink, right? Then this is when it's burning, you want to raise your hands in the air like this. Okay, this is the mudra. Putting your hands in the air is a mudra. That's right. So this is the mudra. That represents releasement. You ever notice people in church when they crying and praising the Lord, they trying to release that energy, they put their hands in the air? It's a natural thing. This is ancient Chinese science right here. So we're dealing with Taoist Chinese sorcery, some Taoism, right? So this is the symbol you want to do. You want to put your hands in the air with the palms facing forward. This is the mantra you want to speak. This calls the hell soldiers, right? It goes Om Kus Manda Manda Pate Sava, right? That's the Om, that's the mantra you want to speak. Now let's read what it says. It says, when a person is about to die, the hell soldiers will come for them. This dealing with negative people, right? When the above mantra is chanted together with the mudra, the hell soldiers will grant the person an extension of life and leave the scene. That means if a person who didn't do right is about to die, they can chant this mantra and this mudra, and the hell soldiers who supposed to take them to a lower realm because of their consciousness will leave them alone. Okay? Y'all seen that in the movie Supernatural, in the TV show Supernatural. The mantra can be used for a very haunted house, building. The hell soldiers will capture the spirits or ghosts. Ordinarily, when the mantra is chanted in a house, the spirits and ghosts will not even enter your home. Will not even enter your home. So yes, brother, to answer that question, there is spells and rituals out there and entities on a spiritual realm that do police certain things. So these are hell soldiers. They're like the police of the hell states. And these are pretty much lower spirits that drag people body down, you know. And there's a lot of stories on YouTube. You can even see people, Christians or not, saying, yeah, something came and pulled me down to a hell state. So when you do this mantra and mudra, family, these so-called police of the lower realms will leave you alone, or they will take the ghost. They will take the ghost away, and they will take the ghost out of your house. So that's something that people can use too. So that was a good question, brother, because yes.
What's up with, you know, we do a lot of things that, and Bobby Hemmett said this before, because we have an inferiority complex, we think it's just some ghetto shit, but it's really spiritual. Even with the names we all, our culture, for some reason, we decided to start naming our children Aisha, Kaisha, Letitia. All of a sudden, we find out some of the entities is these names. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we thought it was ghetto, but we was channeling the whole time. But we have such an inferiority complex. We call our shit ghetto, just like Ebonics. And the world adapts it, profits from it. Then we like, oh shit, we looking stupid. But my point is, damn it, I forgot my point. I was making a powerful point. I forgot the point.
You're talking about the names and stuff like that.
Yeah. It'll come to me. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. But
it happens.
Before I get into that, I guess because it'll come to me later on down the line at the right time. Talk to me about, you know what I've heard, you know, since we're talking about sex and we're talking about energy vampires and these invisible entities that, you know, that cling on to you during that time. What about masturbation? Are you opening yourself for a spiritually transmitted disease or energy vampire when you masturbate, brother? Pornhub, all that other shit that's on the internet.
You know, like I said before, everything comes with consequences, right? You know, so the only real bad thing about masturbation, because masturbation sometimes is necessary, because a lot of people have a natural. I was just doing a conversation with a brother about this today. Some people have a natural have a kundalini that naturally rises. These type of people have a natural high sex drive, right? There's some people out there like that. They have a point where their kundalini just spontaneously rises and they get horny, right? They can't control it. Sometimes when all this energy is built up, you got to release it. So masturbation will help you release it. But as a man, doesn't really affect the female. But as a man, you got to be careful because you drain your life force, right? You drain your life force. So if you practice semen retention, which I don't recommend people practicing without a teacher. Semen retention, a lot of times people masturbate to, you know what I'm saying, to learn how to hold their seed. And the secret to that is your breath. If you learn how to breathe a certain way, you can hold your seed forever. You know what I mean? So a lot of times in the sexual arts, they got a book called Sexual Mudras. In the sexual arts, they'll teach you how when you masturbate, you got to learn how to hold your seed as a man, or you killing yourself. You getting gray early. You know what I'm saying? Stuff ain't working right like it used to. You don't drain too much life force, and you got to be careful with that. So I wouldn't say that masturbation is bad. What your intention is, if you a married man or you're a person that's seen, and you looking at the type of females that's going, and all of a sudden you walking around the city or around your neighborhood and you see them females walking around, your fantasy. You know what I'm saying? You're drawing that too. There's no time that you're more powerful than at the point of orgasm, right? And men don't even have orgasms. So we got to understand that men just ejaculate. Women have orgasms. You know what I'm saying? And a man can have an orgasm. You know what I'm saying? If you learn how to do that. I've had one time and it was on a whole nother level. You ever seen the movie Blank Man? When he was on the floor? That's how I was, brother. You know what I'm saying? I was just stay away. Dead serious, bro.
I think you said Blake Man.
My wife thought I was dying. You know what I'm saying? I never tried that again. Never tried that again. And I was messed up for 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Man. So I was like, never again. That's when I realized how powerful this sexual magic can be. I ain't gonna lie. I was inspired by the Bobby Hemmett lecture he did called I forgot what it was called, but it was something with Venus. And Bobby Hemmett said that Venus his lady turned into Ishtar and smacked him in the face. I think it was called Sexual War or something like that. And I was like, oh man, I gotta get, this was years ago. Years ago. Yeah, wow, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was so inspired by it. I said, I gotta try it. I was crazy back then, but I tried it, right. and certain things worked. But it was the energy so intense. That's why a female is God, man. Because the stuff that she can handle with her physical body is on a whole nother level. Yeah. So men ejaculate. When you ejaculate, bro, you're releasing your seed. You need to learn how to ejaculate, not ejaculate. You know what I'm saying? And that's a whole other thing.
Let me ask you this. We're on a conversation of sex. It's a very important conversation because we need to learn how spiritual sexuality is. It's not just a physical act. It impacts your aura and your spirit and your spiritual being. You got to understand when you with women, a lot of brothers complain that I was just talking to Blue Pill. He mentioned it briefly on a show the other day. If you don't ejaculate, the whole purpose of sex, when you think about it, you want to make your woman have that, and the woman wants to make the man. She wants to please the man. Besides pleasing yourself, your goal is to please your partner. So when a man doesn't come, a woman feels she don't like that shit. She wants that sperm. She wants that shit to come out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, psychological. So you talking about I'm practicing, baby, I'm not coming today. She, nigga, what the fuck is you doing? You don't like me? You know what I'm saying? That shit offends her. So is it possible to mentally maintain your energy, but ejaculate at the same time? Like I bust that nut, but mentally the thoughts I was having, I maintain that energy that I wanted to maintain. Is that possible, brother?
Yes, if you can hold your seed. So if you say, look, I'm not gonna bust someone off for like a month, you know what I'm saying? But you having sex, you're building your energy, your spiritual energy up. Then when you bust one off, you didn't lose all of it. You lost some of it. So you can still maintain a lot of energy if you allow it to build up first. You gotta build up. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I always tell people, brothers, if you're gonna do that, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't let it go to waste. What I mean by that is, imagine what you want in life. At that moment, brother, you are God. You understand? You need to imagine houses coming to you, cars, health, and good wealth. You need to imagine those things. It needs to be, if you're a spiritual person, every time you have sex with your significant other, it needs to be magic happening. And you need to be doing that by way of using your mind.
That sounds good, but why is that? Why is it magical? How are you God when you're coming? Why?
Right, because of the power of when a man ejaculates, you're pulling from all the vital organs in your body. So this is the most power. We talk about doing rituals and how you need energy to do rituals.
Yes.
Well, when you having a man ejaculates, you are using all the life force at that point in your life concentrated into one thing. Mm-hmm. And the only thing it's concentrating on is getting out. But while it's getting out, you need to think about when it's releasing, because you going into the void. You sending your stuff into the universe. The woman's vagina is the black hole. That's a stargate. You understand? That's a stargate. So when you ejaculate inside your lady, you need to send stuff into the universe. They showed you that in the movie the American Gods. The sister was sucking the brothers up. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that episode. Yeah.
and the white man, he was in the middle of the universe with his hands up. You know what I'm saying? And ecstasy. You know what I'm saying? That's real. I thought that was so powerful when I say that. You're dealing with the universe. You're dealing with the universe. So when a man does that, don't waste it, brother. If you're going to have to do it, your lady, hey, what's wrong with you? Don't you love me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to do what you got to do. And I understand that. Do what you got to do, but don't waste it. Use it for your benefit, for y'all benefit.
Yes.
And if she has an orgasm, at the point of her orgasm, you need to be doing the same thing. You need to be thinking that this moment y'all are connected. Yes. Right? So you need to be thinking with your mind, no matter how many orgasms she has, you need to be thinking to your mind about what y'all want and tell her to say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? What you want, a house, baby? You want a car? You know what I'm saying? You need to tell her. Hey. Y'all both need to say that while you're doing it. And it works, bro. It's so powerful. Y'all are God changing reality at that moment.
That's facts. During sex, you get a woman to say anything.
Right.
You tell her, hey, baby, I'm da-da-da-da-da. She be like, yes, baby, yes, baby. So, I mean, yeah, that's a powerful
Hey, bro,
time.
at the moment where it's about to happen, you tell her, hey, you want that car, right? You want that new car? You know what I'm saying? What you want, a Bentley? Shit, let's get a Bugatti, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact, though. You know what I'm saying? That you can manifest it. That's the point where all the energy in your body can be focused to one point. You send that thing into the universe. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, very powerful, brother. Very powerful. And when you're doing that, if you're going to do stuff like that, please make sure your room has protection in your room. Don't be having sex in mirrors, because actual energy will take your.
I heard people say that. Why not? What's wrong with having sex?
A mirror is a gateway to the astral plane, and we're not just saying that because you can see your reflection, or people watch the movie Poltergeist. How is a mirror made? All mirrors have silver inside them. Silver is connected to the astral plane. So when you're looking at yourself in the reflection in the mirror, you're dealing with a version of your astral self. And when you're not paying attention, the light's off, or you're not focused. And, I've heard somebody tell me that before, that they seen themselves turn their head and turn back in the mirror. That's because you got astral entities looking at you through the mirror, right? So turn that mirror around, or put something in front of the mirror to protect yourself, like a pentagram. That's pretty good. Put a pentagram in front of the mirror, or a crystal grid to block entities from coming in. Because when a woman has an orgasm, or when you ejaculate, there's entities that come in and they try to suck up that energy if you don't do nothing with it. If you don't do nothing with it, they suck up that energy, take it back to and these are bottom feeder fourth dimensional entities. They'll suck that energy up and use it. Succubuses are good for that. Incubus and succubus are good for that.
Leo, family, once again, shout out to everybody in chat. We have over 1,000 people in the chat room. I could go so many directions. I hope y'all been enjoying this. I'm looking real quick. Okay. I could go so many directions with this conversation, family. I mean, it's such an important conversation. Sex is not just pleasure. Relationships, friendships are not just pleasure. They are energetic exchanges and energetic contracts, as the brothers say. And you have to understand the people you are around. That's why they say birds of a feather flock together. There's so many sayings. What's another one? Hey, you hang around 4 rich people, you're bound to be the 5th rich one. You know what I mean?
Tell me who you hang with. I'll tell you who you are.
I'll tell you who you are. There's so many sayings that connect with what this brother's teaching here today that, oh man. Hey, oh, so with that being said, family, make sure you'll donate for me giving this. What? Listen, family, whether you like Brother Rich or not, I'm the plug.
No doubt.
I'm the plug. You gotta admit, I'm the plug. I'm the spiritual plug. Brothers like Brother Yosef, Dr. Phil Valentine, Bobby Hammond years ago, Delbert Blair years ago, Dick Greg, like I'm the plug for this shit right here. And I'm confident this is my role. This is my movie character. And I have to glow in it. I have to walk in it. But I'm the plug for this shit right here. And I'm gonna bring y'all the most dynamic information that y'all can't get anywhere else on the planet. So that's who I am. With that being said, family, I want to because this is like a little break right here. Because I know this is powerful information. Y'all gotta digest it. I know this brother got something coming up. I want to tell the people about it real quick.
Thank you.
Up and coming, brother, powerful brother. I'm glad to have you. I can't say that enough, brother.
Thank you.
Tell the people about what are you doing right here, brother. What's this about?
Okay, so this is some friends of mine. We all getting together for something called the Master Student Conference, headed by Mental Alchemy. And that's Brother Dreamwise. He got a channel called Brother Dreamwise. Him and his wife Deja. They're putting together this lecture. It's me, Brother Yosef, Conjure Queen, Dreamwise and his wife Deja, Sister Mook, Will Capru, and Brother Travis Magus. And we kind of like the Wu-Tang. We bringing all different styles of Kung Fu to this lecture. And we're going to be doing that November 26th. And we're gonna get the people some good information. So that's coming up November 26th. Once again, Will Capru, Travis Magus, Mook, Dreamwise, his wife Deja, Conjure Queen, and me. And that's gonna be and y'all can get tickets. Y'all can go to his website, mentalalchemy.com, or y'all can check out any one of our Instagrams or Facebooks, and the links will be there.
Shout out to Conjure Queen, that sister, that queen been on my channel a couple of times.
No doubt.
So shout out to her. I hope she's doing good with what she do. I know she deal with the magic a lot.
Absolutely.
So shout out to that sister Conjure Queen. I think with so definitely make sure you'll support that brother right there. Support what you are in alignment with. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I know a lot of y'all are in alignment with what this brother's talking about. So you got to make sure you support that, and then you supporting that will support you. It ain't even about this brother. It's about the energy that surrounds him, the energy that surrounds me. You see my sure success. You support me. Success is supporting you.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to return. This shit is a circulation.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So with that being said, brother,
I want to say something real quick too about the ancestors, brother.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
So maybe I want to share something with people that people may not know. So people, for the most part, we know that we burn this ancestor money for the ancestors, which is very part, and they call it a hell banknote. And it was called hell banknotes because the Christian missionaries went to China, and they made the Chinese people change the prints over the hell notes. But originally, this is ancestor money with the Jade Emperor. And I want people to go look for these. These are something that you could burn with your ancestor money. People forget it. I see a lot of people talk about ancestor money, but some people talk about this, but some people don't know. So I just want to share this with the viewers. This is a gold leaf. Okay, this is real gold that you can burn for your ancestors. You can send it into the spirit world. Okay, so ancestor money works great, right? But gold and silver. So what I do, family, is I burn this, right? But I'm not always sure if it's real gold because you buy these at the Chinese store. They say, yeah, it's gold. So what I do is I order the gold leaf online, and I stick the gold leaf literally on the paper. I fold it up and I burn it right up, and I send the real gold into the spirit world. Okay, your ancestors gonna love it. It don't matter how much gold it is. You take the gold leaf, you can get it on Amazon, eBay, get the real 24 karat gold leaf, stick a piece on there. You know what I'm saying? Send it into the spirit world, burn it up. That's something that will also help your ancestors very powerfully. So I wanted to share that with the family too, before I forgot.
Why they love the gold, brother Yosef? Why they love it?
Huh?
I hear about that. Why do the ancestors love the gold? And I ask that because I always hear stories about the Anunnaki and how they needed the gold, whether people believe it or not. I just always hear stories about angels and entities and gold. Why would the ancestors love the gold, brother Yosef?
The ancestors love the gold because the gold is real spiritual money. Like Robert Kiyosaki said, for y'all who know about Robert Kiyosaki, he said, gold and silver is the money of God. That's God's money. You know what I'm saying? So if you want some real money, and we know law in legal terms, the only real money is gold and silver anyway. It ain't no such thing as a dollar bill, American dollar. That's just a debt instrument. So real money, period, is gold and silver. And everybody know I talk about that a lot on my Instagram, my Instagram and my Patreon about people invested in gold. I always pushing people, get you some silver, get you some gold, and silver more than gold because you can get up, you can win in the long run with silver because silver is cheaper. And when I used to tell people to get the silver, it was like $13, $15. Now silver is like $25, $30. So get the silver and gold because it's spiritual money. I personally carry a piece of silver in my pocket almost every day because it attracts wealth to you. You know what I'm saying? When you got gold around your neck, see, people, they wear gold and silver to stunt sometimes, but gold and silver attracts wealth. This is a fact. So if you know what you're doing and you got the gold and silver in your pocket and you got it on, you don't did stuff with your spiritual necklaces, you got vibrations, even if you don't do nothing with it, gold and silver attracts wealth. So the reason why you could do that with your ancestors, because even in the spirit world, yes, they need money. They do need money. And the best money to give them is gold and silver. So that's why it's so powerful. It's real spiritual money.
Okay. I thank you once again for sharing that with the people. Like I said, you share so many resources with the people, whether it's products or books that I'm just not used to seeing that. So in this day and era, so I appreciate that, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So family, we're winding down. We probably got about 45 minutes left. We're gonna do the first half of the show is done. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat room. We're going on to the second half of the show. I'm gonna ask the brother a couple of more questions. Then I want to get into questions from the family. The brother has an important story that he wants to share with the entity that we call Baron Samdi. So we're gonna get into that for a second. In a little while, we're gonna get into that. What I want to ask you right now before we get into all the other stuff I just talked about. My son's making mad noise.
That's all good. My daughter do the same thing.
Yeah, he his nap was mad late today. Shout out to Priest King who sent me a cash app. My cash app is at the bottom of the screen, family. Shout out to it's important to support people who support you with this level of information. So I always appreciate people who appreciate you. Sometimes I'll be like, am I just doing this for nothing? And then you usually know when somebody supports you financially, it's a clear sign that they support the information. So
absolutely,
because it has a direct impact on your life. My son who's making noise could benefit from that. My woman that I've been with for over 15 years, she could benefit from that. So when somebody gives me that, they're like, all right, nigga, you could benefit from this. I'm really supportive for those who, and it's whatever. I understand the community I'm in. What I want to ask you, we're talking about energy vampires. We're talking about attaching spirits. We're talking about sexually transmitted diseases. And you gave an example of somebody who's at a bar getting drunk and a spirit might attach themselves onto that person who just died and is angry. The spirit may try to kill that person. And the nigga may get into a fight with the police and the police shoot him that night and the dude is gone. Why do these energies, my question to you is, these energies obviously want to experience the physical realm again because they felt like they got cheated out of it. Why not just inhabit that body long term? Why try to make that body do something destructive to get rid of it that night or immediately instead of just inhabiting that body long term and experience success from the spirit realm and inhabiting that body from another realm? Why?
That's a good question, man. And I'll be honest, I don't think it's the intention of spirits to actually kill the person, but because let's just say, for example, a spirit is suicidal. A person committed suicide. They see the light. They don't want to go in it. So they walk the earth, right? Which is a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? They walk the earth. They're still angry. Whatever made them commit suicide, they still feel that way. So the person that they're attached to, they're just going to be a victim of that. They're going to want to commit suicide, right? But usually what happens with these spirits, man, is they're looking to eat, right? They're just looking to feed. And what I mean by that is spirits, they have to maintain themselves or they'll just wither away. So the way they do that is they eat off your emotional energy. right? That's how the spirits eat. Spirits don't really eat food like that unless it's in a fourth dimensional, from a fourth dimensional perspective. But for the most part, spirits they eat energy. So even if it's an alcoholic person, you know, who probably got in a fight with somebody at a bar, the person hit him in the head with a bat, the person died. Well, when they come in attached to you, you may start talking crazy to people, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it'll make you do, because when you start talking like that, it feeds the spirit. And for some reason, these spirits like low level energy, because when they feed off the level energy, it's like drugs to them. So they can feed off it from a food perspective or like a high perspective. And that's kind of what they like. They like the low level spirits, like the high. They like to get high off the people, but it's like a food source to a degree. So I personally believe that the spirits don't really intend to kill a person, but at the same time, they definitely look to feed off the person and try to impregnate the person with the same thing that they dealing with. Let me give you a prime example. I went to go visit my mother a few months ago. She lives down in Tennessee. So you know, since 2012, I've been able to astral project. It's something I do for fun when I go to sleep. I'm not good at doing it while I'm awake yet. I'm getting closer. But when I go to sleep at night, I could just leave my body, bro. I could just be in the physical world or the spiritual world. So I could see things. That's how I be knowing some stuff, because I could see things that people can't see. I know Area 51 ain't there no more. They moved it. I know it, right?
Oh shit, where they moved it, brother? Come on.
I'll be honest, I don't know where they moved it yet. But when I went there one night, it was empty. You know what I'm saying? And I know what was there before. You know what I'm saying? I know what was there. Extraterrestrials, and I don't want to get off topic, but that's a you know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother thing.
Would you call that remote viewing and astral projection? Would you call that the same thing? This is
astral projection is when your astral body projects into the physical realm. You project it out. You know what I'm saying? Astral traveling is what everybody do at night. When you go to sleep, you're on the astral plane or the dream dimension or the fourth dimension traveling, whether you're conscious or not. So that's kind of what that is. But sometimes I like to see the environment. I like to go around and just see what I'm dealing with. If I see certain spirits, right? That's how I know spirits are territorial, because when I'm in that form, I could see energies moving people, you know, making people walk around down the street late at night. I could see them pulling drug addicts and crack. I could see this. I literally saw a crackhead with a chain around his neck, and it was a spirit pulling him and laughing, like this creepy ass laugh, bro, like laughing hard, like and pulling him by the neck with a chain, bro. I seen that. So I'm down there visiting, and I astral project, and I walk down my mother's street. Now, this is in Memphis, Tennessee, right? Memphis, Tennessee, brother, has a lot of angry dead black people that have been hung on trees.
Wow.
Significant others done killed them. It's a lot of angry, and then a lot of people died, still mad about Martin Luther King dying in Memphis, Tennessee. So everybody know he got shot down there, and I went to go visit that place. That place, it almost made me cry. The energy's still there. You know what I'm saying? I could feel it, bro. So Memphis, Tennessee is a beautiful city. It's a beautiful black city, but it has a lot of sad and angry black people that passed away. Okay? But shout out to Memphis. I love Memphis, right? Good food, good people. But I could sense, I could sense it. So I'm walking down the street, and all of a sudden I start seeing people literally coming out of the trees and walking towards the street, cursing at me. Just saying different things at me. So I get to the end of the street, brother, and I see this black lady on this porch, and she's naked. She's like all naked, and she got like blood around her neck. I don't know if she was cut on her neck or I don't know what happened, but she's sitting at me. F you, you don't know me, you a bitch, you know, just calling everything you ain't supposed to call a man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey, you know, I could help you. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want to do nothing to do with me, bro. And she had like a dress on, but the dress was like she looked spooky, bro. So I just like start moving on. You know, I'm floating. I'm going about my business. When I get to the end of the street, there's a mob of like angry black people, bro, with pitchforks. There he is. You know what I'm saying? So I go back to the other end of the street, like, yo, these people is crazy, because they know I'm not dead, but they can see my astral form. You know what I'm saying? And they just angry. They just mad. They just angry about stuff. So I go back and say, well, I'm just gonna go back in the house and go to sleep. So I went back into my body. All of a sudden, brother, I'm sleeping, and I feel somebody on top of me, right? And I should have stuck with my protection that night. I didn't do it, but I put it on after this, trust me. But I'm in the bed sleeping, and I open my eye. It's that same black lady who had the blood around her neck, who was naked. She's on top of me trying to have sex with me, right? And I look at her, and I'm trying to push her off, right? And she bites my hand, bro. She bites my hand to the point where I saw like my skin pulling. And she's like, "Don't you know I'm evil?" And she just saying all this evil stuff to me, bro. So I had to do something to like get her off me spiritually. I had to project some things out of my consciousness to get her off of me. And I had to, my mama didn't know it, but I had to get up and cleanse the whole room. And I turned the mirror around that was in the room, right? I turned the mirror around because I believe she came through there. And when I did that stuff, you know, she never came back. But I woke up like, man, that's crazy. And I'm like, yo, certain spirits are just angry. And I don't think they mean to kill people, but because they die like that, they just inject that same energy on people.
Right.
So that's what I think it is, brother.
Wow. Damn, bro. Wow. What a story.
I got a million stories like that.
Hey, well, before we get into questions from the people and family, I want you to give me some questions from the chat room. Tell me, you want to talk about your experience with Baron Samedi. A lot of us know about Baron Samedi and this entity. Maybe you could tell us who Baron Samedi is, and then you could tell us about your personal experience with him, because I know a lot of people would be interested in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought this was a good story because you know, Halloween coming and he's the man around that time.
October 31st, Halloween. Yeah.
Right.
Is that a good or bad thing? Is Halloween good or bad for Black people? Talk to me, brother.
It's great. Halloween is good because it's the day of your ancestors. It's the day you're supposed to venerate your ancestors. It's the day that they get to come to the physical world. You know what I mean? And be what you're supposed to have plates of food out and everything on Halloween. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much Baron Samedi is the god of the graveyards, the god of the dead. And you know, I was inspired myself. He also is the head leader of the family of the Gay Day. And he, you know, Baron Samedi is the guy that people see with the top hat, but sometimes people get him mixed up with Papa Legba, right? And they'll put Papa Legba in the graveyard. Papa Legba could be anywhere. He's the god of the crossroads. He's between every door, life and death. It don't matter. Heaven and hell states. He's everywhere, right? So I was inspired once again as a young magician around 2011, 2012-ish by Bobby Hemmett, talking about the Baron. And I was like, wow, this seems really interesting. So I started studying voodoo around 2011. And I would do some of the practices, not knowing that, you know, some people say, oh, you're supposed to be initiated, right? Not understanding that. But I'm practicing, I'm doing certain things. And this story just for the people who don't know, who see me for the first time. Because people heard me tell this story before. But so one particular night, brother, there was a ritual I did with the Baron. And I actually don't even want to tell people the ritual because he might pop up on them, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no fun sight when he popped up, I'll be honest with you. I was scared, like, I was like, oh my God, Mama was right. I don't mess with the wrong shit. I'm dead, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in the room, I'm working a ritual, and I go to sleep. All of a sudden, I astral project out of my body. This is when I started getting good at it. And I'm in my office for some reason. And something pulled me in there. It's like I didn't do it. Something pulled me in there. And I used to have this picture of the Baron on my wall, bro. A real tall picture with the top hat. I love that picture to this day. I still got it. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at the picture like, why am I here? And the picture started to vibrate. As the picture vibrate, I saw his foot come out first, right? The foot came out of the picture. And literally, he was standing up in the air like, you know what I'm saying? Like a 6'6" person standing up, like a little bit off the ground, maybe 10 inches off the ground. And he's floating, he's just looking at me, and I'm like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, like, I want to go somewhere, but it's like he's making me stay there. So he had a staff in his hand, everything. So he's looking at me, kind of just turned his head like this, like, this is interesting. That's kind of the vibe I got from him. So he looked at me, he pointed to the wall, and his hat all of a sudden just flew to the wall, and one of the Gay Day came out. The first Gay Day blew wind at me with his wings. The second Gay Day crawled out.
You said the first what? What are you saying? The first
yeah, the Gay Day, the voodoo, the Haitian voodoo, the Gay Day.
Yeah, people might not know what that is, so that's why.
Yeah, these are the MCs. Well, I'll explain it because I already know. I'm gonna forget what I'm about to say. I'll explain it though.
Yeah.
But it's real easy. It's the Gay Day. It's like Baron Samedi rules over them. Very powerful group of entities. But the Gay Day came out, and I didn't know who they were at first. But when I started looking at their pictures, little tiny skeleton people, and I was like, oh, that's who they were. So the second one came out of the hat. It blew fire at me. And when it blew fire at me, I was finally able to move, and I like just jumping around thinking I'm getting burned alive, right? So I'm yelling at the top of my lungs, but I'm noticing I'm not feeling no pain, like the fire not actually burning me. And then all of a sudden I just heard like this sound go whoof, and then I went inside my body. All of a sudden I was back in my bed. I woke up, I hopped up, and I was scared to go into my office next door because I'm like, he might still be in there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I slept the whole night. But eventually I did go back to sleep. And when I woke up, I remember how energized I felt, brother. I felt so energized. I would say 2 or 3 days after that, I started having these, this is the first time it started to happen. I started having dreams and visions about me in these dark, dark places, bro. Like these really dark places. Like I would be hearing people yelling and screaming. People telling me they was gonna murder me. I would hear all this stuff, and I would notice every time I went there, it was freezing cold. And eventually the Baron appeared and was like, yeah, I brought you here. I want to show you some stuff. So I learned a lot of stuff about crystals. And, you know, when I said this story on YouTube for the first time, there's a group in New York City. I don't know what their group is called, but one of the brothers, shout out to him. He hits me up sometimes. They called on Baron Samedi. I actually deal with 2 different groups in New York City. But one of the groups called, the brother called me and said, hey, man, my peoples love your channel. When you said the thing about the Baron, we asked the Baron if he really know you. He said, yeah. But he said, my people are amazed because you're not initiated. So how did you connect with the Baron and you're not even initiated? I said, brother, I wish I could tell you. I said, but I've learned that if you just are a sincere person, you can reach the gods. They're gods. They can deal with whoever they want to deal with. Now, if you are initiated, you have there's certain things you have to do because you're initiated. And I have nothing but respect for that. But this is just, I didn't do this with all the voodoo deities. This just happened with Baron Samedi only. Okay? This only happened with Baron Samedi. So when that happened, Baron Samedi would come to me like a couple times a week, and he would take me, and I hated it, bro. I'm not going to say, oh, it was so fun. I saw all this cool stuff. No, I was scared, brother. We're going to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I was terrified. But sometimes he'd just leave my ass down there. And I'm like, hey, hey, you know what I'm saying? But I learned a lot, bro. I learned how to help people get out of there. Yeah. I didn't know you could take your ancestors out of there. So I learned how to take my ancestors out of lower hell state realms. And I learned that hell had different levels to it, bro. So the lowest part of what we call hell, and everybody needs to go watch the movie The Astral City. The Astral City. It's a movie based on a true story of a guy who this guy he remembered what happened to him in his past life when he died. He remembered everything he went through. And when he died in that movie, he said he went to a cold, dark place. You could see slaves beating slave masters on trees. Like I was like, yo, this is crazy, because that's the type of stuff you see down there, right? You just see some crazy stuff. So I remember the first thing I ever saw after hearing stuff, the first thing I saw was this naked lady. I think she looked like a white lady, but she was walking around calling her 2 sons that she just killed. She just killed her 2 sons, and she was calling their name, right? And she was walking around like, Bobby, Jonathan, mommy, sorry, I'm sorry. And I'm kind of like, what the? And then she killed herself too. And when you looking at these people, you could just look at them and tell what's wrong with them. It was the craziest thing ever. You know why they down there, right? But one thing I learned that, bro, ain't nobody bring them down, really, unless you did some horrible stuff and you supposed to be down there. People put themselves in hell states. And I'm not talking about hell from a religious standpoint. I'm talking about lower realms of consciousness. Okay, we're not talking about religious hell. We're talking about a lower realm of consciousness that you put yourself there based on you having a low level of consciousness. It's a lot of Christians down there because they don't know nothing. They have a low level of, it don't matter. Going to a lower realm has nothing to do with being good or evil. It's about having a low level of consciousness. You put yourself down there. So if you commit suicide, you did it, right? It don't matter if the spirits influenced you. They can't control you. You let them influence you. You did it. If you kill your kid, do some great, you did it to yourself. So the second level of hell state I noticed was like the movie what's that movie called? This TV show on Netflix, Stranger Things. When they would go to the upside down place, they would see these abandoned cars. There wasn't no snow stuff coming down, but it was cold, but it was abandoned just like that. You will see these abandoned places, abandoned stuff. So you can go to your house on a hell state and it reflects Earth. So you can go to your city in a hell state and see what it looks like in a hell state. It's the craziest thing, bro. Once again, it's cold, right? But that's where you will see more of demons running around. You will see horrible stuff you don't want to even think of, bro. I've seen stuff so bad I don't want to talk about it, right? And I only seen a child down there one time, and I talked about that in another story. And then on the higher realm of a hell state, I saw like what looks like a regular night in any city, but you will just see crazy stuff happen, like people jumping out of windows. But you'll see people eating in a restaurant. You'll see people walking down the street, right? And you'll also see what they call a lot of dark sorcerers and dark magicians down there having meetings and stuff. You will also see a lot of flea markets where you can buy stuff in lower hell realms, right? So this is all the stuff I was seeing, and the Baron was showing me this stuff. I ain't crazy enough to lie on the Baron, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that crazy. And he got a great sense of humor, incredible sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? He talks wild, man, but he demands respect. You know what I'm saying? He demands respect. Also, when I went down there, I met the god Anubis. So I would say the god that I had the most intensity with was the first god that I met, Lord Indra, but definitely after that would be Baron Samedi. And then I met Lord Anubis, and Anubis is the one that told me you can come here whenever you want. And when I saw Anubis, he was about 15 feet tall, and he was blacker than the darkness. I'll never forget that. So I'm standing in this void. This is right after Baron Samedi left me again. He left me down there one time. I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking around, and I see this person walking toward me. So I'm walking backwards, like, oh, what is this? But I get this sense of like peace, like it's okay, it's no problem. And I see what looks like Anubis, and he walks towards me. He had a little short black hair on his body, and he walks towards me. He said, you know, you can come here whenever you want to. And he turned around and just walked away. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, you know, he just walked away. And yeah, so yeah, bro, it's crazy. That's my experience with the Baron. The Baron helped me get to lower hell realms, and he taught me a lot about crystals. He taught me a lot about the graveyard. He taught me a lot about respect too, having how important it is to have respect for the ancestors. I've even seen him pull ancestor money out of his pocket, because the gods don't like ancestor money. I'm gonna keep it real, right? A lot of the gods, when I started burning for some of the deities I deal with, they was like, we don't want no ancestor money. You can burn it for some of them, but they don't need it. They got everything they want. They like what they call heaven notes. You can burn some heaven notes. They got those, or gold and silver. They'll take that. But for the most part, the gods, Baron Samedi, he got a pocket full of hell notes. He liked those things, man. He liked those things. So I don't work with the Baron as much today as I used to. I don't even have an altar for him anymore. But I used to work with him heavy from the years of 2012 till about 2016. I worked with the Baron. So yeah, that's my story on the Baron, brother.
Wow, man, that's so interesting. And that's such a learning experience for everybody who's watching right now. I mean, I'm loving this conversation, family. Let's get to another question.
Yes,
I
yes.
see a good one. Why do we have spiritual attacks and dreams, and how do we fight them, Brother Yosef?
That's a good question. That's a good question. So it's a lot of reasons why you could be spiritually attacked in dreams. Because it can come from so many different sources. So you could be spiritually attacked by another person who's doing some type of spiritual work on you. And usually, like I tell people in my Patreon, when you're getting a person who's really trying to hex you, they always psychically attack you first, right? A real person who's really going to hex you is going to psychically attack. If I'm going to hex somebody, you're going to get psychically attacked first. So you're going to have nightmares, right? You're going to have dreams of somebody attacking you. So it could be a person attacking you, right? Or it could be the fact that you have entities, stuff you've done in your past life. A lot of these spirits wait for you to go to sleep at night. They wait for you to go to sleep at night, and they will try to attack you in your dreams. Some people are always running away in their dreams, right? Also, sometimes you're getting attacked because you're being trained and you're being tested, right? I told a story about how I used to run from this werewolf-looking thing in my dreams. For years, I ran from this thing. And eventually he caught my ass on the train, and I couldn't run, right? And I said, well, it's going to be what it's going to be. And when I just wasn't scared, he got down on one knee, and he represented a certain part of my energy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of things you run from belongs to you.
Right. You're right.
Run from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just saw a powerful movie. What is it called? The New Mutants. The New Mutants, and the girl running from this bear, and the whole time she was in control of it. this evil bear messing everybody up. And the whole time she running, and it's like, yo, I'm trying to get down with you. You running from me. I've been trying to catch up with you. That's kind of how it was. So we run from things for a lot of reasons. Sometimes it's our own negative thoughts, right? We'll run from our own negative thoughts. And the way you fight them, family, is you must learn how to do two things in the astral plane if you want to learn how to fight in the astral plane. Very simple. You must learn how to control your emotions, right? When something's trying to make you feel fearful, it's doing it for a reason. Because the more fearful you become, the stronger it gets. So you need to learn how to feel a high emotion at will. I recommend love, but love is not so easy to tap into. When something tries to attack me, I immediately go into feeling a high emotion. It could be gratitude. It could be happiness, something to make you happy. Don't feel fear. The second thing is you need to learn how to project your energy. If you could think of whatever you want in the fourth dimension hard enough, it will appear. That's just facts. And everybody has done it in their dreams before. If you can fly, you can make a shield appear. That's just a fact. But if you are in a fearful state, you're going to be frozen. So if you want to learn how to fight in the astral plane, you're going to need to do two things. You need to learn how to control your emotions, and you're going to need to learn how to clear your mind so you can project whatever weapon you need in the spirit realm. And usually you need to do something with your energy, whether it's a shield or an energy beam or something like that.
All right. Let's this is a general I don't see a lot of questions, so I'm trying to find, and maybe I missed some questions because I came late. Well, let me ask you, are you accepting any vendors for your event? India, India, I think you've been trolling. I think you've been asking about, yeah. You don't, yeah. India, be careful with the trolling. You were saying post a website for the Houston location. Be careful, yeah. We're going to talk about that. Talk about the location and are you accepting vendors? But India, don't troll the chat room. Go ahead, brother.
You want to talk about well, they're going to have to contact Brother Dreamwise Mental Alchemy. I know they are accepting vendors, a few. But you're going to need to contact Brother Dreamwise of Mental Alchemy, or just go to his Instagram page, Mental Alchemy, I believe, on Instagram. Facebook is Kamari Wise, and you can just contact him. Or go to his YouTube contact. He's easy to contact, and he can tell you everything. It says event, he's setting it up, so he knows more than I do, family.
Okay. All right, let's get to another question. Real quick. Yeah, shout out to family. We're about to end, probably in about 15 minutes. I just want to get to a couple of more questions, but I'm trying to find. I'm scrolling through the chat, and this is why I don't want the trolling and the spamming, because it's harder to find what you're looking for. Yeah.
I see somebody asking a question about deja vu.
Okay, yeah, answer that.
Deja vu is simply you showing you that you are exactly where you need to be. That's the reason why you have deja vu. This is everything you go through when you do is already pre-planned. You already wrote the book. I was just telling somebody in my YouTube, the other day I did a video, and the person was asking about, if you choose this, how can you change it or something like that? And I was like, hey, you wrote this book, and it's a choose your own adventure book. It's whatever you make it. There's multiple realities. Choose your own adventure. But it's your book. What do you choose to do? So deja vu is just simply showing you are exactly where you're supposed to be in your life at that moment. That's all deja vu is showing you.
All right. Somebody, Prince Michael, wants to know, Brother Yosef, can you talk about mirror magic or staring into the mirror in the dark? I want to add on to that question, Brother Yosef.
Okay.
So, from personal experience, that was my main magic tool. I come where I live now, I don't have a mirror, so I'm not able to practice it, but creating my reality and who everybody knows as Brother Rich formed from me doing mirror magic at night. I just happened to be born in an environment where I had mirrors in my living room. So at night when I practice, when I did my meditation, there was mirrors everywhere. So I hear bad things about mirrors. I hear good things about mirrors. Talk to me and answer the brother question about mirror magic and stare into the mirror in the dark, my brother.
Okay. Well, it goes into what I said earlier about the mirror being a gateway to the fourth dimension. If you cut off the lights in your house and you look into a mirror, a full body mirror, I would say, look into a full body mirror. It works better in a full body mirror. Just sit in a chair or stand in front of a full body mirror. I can guarantee you're going to start seeing people walking past you. Guarantee it. Without a shadow of a doubt. You're going to start seeing people around you, and then it's going to intensify. You're going to start to feel people around you, right? And then you're going to start to feel like you're in the mirror. You're not going to know the difference, right? That's because your consciousness is starting to shift at that point. It's like your body's going into a degree into the dream world, but also it's deeper than that because you are literally dealing with a portal, right? You're dealing with a portal. So mirror magic is cool as long as a person knows what they're doing. There's so many things you could do with mirror magic. You could do reverse hex spells through a mirror magic using black candles. There's a lot of things you can do. You can bring things to you by speaking affirmations to yourself in the mirror. That's simple mirror magic right there. Speaking affirmations to yourself in the mirror, very powerful. But I don't think people should play with the mirror as far as like being in the dark with it, because if you got your eyes closed, you're meditating, it probably won't affect you as much. But if you're looking in the mirror for no reason at all in the dark, you're going to start to, I don't want to call it hallucination because what you're seeing is real, but you're looking at it in a mirror. You will see people standing next to you and it's going to freak you out. So, I mean, he didn't ask a direct question about it, but that's what I think about staring at the mirror. I think it's cool if you're doing something positive, but if you're playing around with it and you just stand in the mirror, you're going to see things that's probably, you probably don't want to see. I'll say that. Okay,
Oh,
somebody saying,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought you could hear me.
oh, okay.
I've been talking. I had it on mute. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
I didn't even
fam.
hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, King Energy 44, G44 says, speak about moon magic and how it works, my brother.
Okay, absolutely. I just did a video on this a week or two ago. So moon magic is very simple. It's a lot of ways to do it. It's a lot of rituals you can do, but usually, what a simple way is understanding this: during a new moon is when you send your affirmations and your things into the portal of the new moon, right? So when the moon is all black, you start sending things out, your intentions during a new moon, right? By the time the 28 days later and the full moon comes, it's supposed to manifest when the moon becomes full, right? And you can do that simply by just lighting a white candle, sending your intentions out, or you can get busy and pull out your cauldron and do some things, right? But moon magic and how it works is simply the moon connects to the astral plane. The moon connects to the metal, the jury silver, right? All that's connected to the astral plane. So a lot of people, you'll hear people saying, well, the moon, I heard the moon's a satellite. Yeah, but a satellite of what? That's the question people don't understand. What is it a satellite? It's a satellite of the fourth dimension. You ever see the movie Peter Pan when he wanted to go to the fourth dimension, which is where Neverland was in the fourth dimension, the land with the area where anything could happen? He went behind the moon. He literally flew behind the moon and he was in Neverland, right? So yes, I do believe the moon is a satellite, and a lot of the energies from the fourth dimension shines through the moon to change things, to affect the physical world, right? We all know the moon is connected to the females. The original calendar was a lunar calendar based on 28-day cycles. The female is connected to 28-day cycles. Also, back in the day, during them times, you had more matriarchs where females rule. We can go back to ancient Nubia, where the female queens and all that stuff. So, and then you go to some of the ancient indigenous tribes where there was a monarchy, right, where the females rule. So we got to understand these things. So that's what simple moon magic is, brother. It's simply just manifesting. That's what you're supposed to do with moon magic. Moon magic is about manifestation.
Powerful, brother. Powerful. One question I want to ask you personally before I get into another question from the people. When you're, I'm sure everybody has experienced this. When you're outside, you could sort of feel somebody looking at you, and you could just be sitting down with your head looking at the book. You could look at a 130 degree angle on the right, upper left side, right side, and you'll spot the exact person looking at you. Like
Mhm.
like you beam into to the exact person who's looking at it. It could be 1,000 people. You're
Mhm.
sitting there, all of a sudden, you just put your head up and you look at the exact person looking at you. So one of the
Mhm.
problems with manifestation, before I finish this question, is that we're unable to see. We're only able to see about 10% of the light spectrum. So all this shit that's happening around us, this beautiful phenomenon, we're unable to see. So we don't know what's going on. So talk to me about when somebody looks at you, is that like a beam? It's like they sending a beam at your ass where you spot it and you just look up.
Right.
Talk to me about that, brother.
Well, you know, it's funny because when you pick up on that energy, it's a subconscious thing, and you're dealing with your
Um,
sixth sense, your
okay.
psychic powers, you know, your sixth sense. So your subconscious mind is so powerful that if somebody in Africa right now said the word brother Rich, your subconscious mind hears it. Your
Wow.
subconscious mind is the super mind. It hears all. It knows all. But it needs to be protected by the conscious mind because it doesn't know right and wrong. It
Mm-hmm.
just does whatever you tell it to do. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
so it needs to be protected. So the conscious represents the male and the subconscious will be the female, right? So and you impregnate your subconscious mind with all these things, and the subconscious mind gives birth to it, just like a female. Okay.
Right.
So when a person's looking at you, your subconscious mind knows it. Consciously, you don't know it. But if you're awake enough, you pick up on what your subconscious mind is trying to show you. And you feel it. You get like a jitter, or you just get this feeling, maybe the hair stand up on the back of your neck or something. Or you just literally you feel the energy. But it's subconscious. So you just kind of go with the flow when you turn your head and you just happen to be that person. So that only people who are really tuned in can sense that. You know what I'm saying? Do you know that in CIA training, the FBI, they teach you how to stand in a certain direction to follow people because they know that people naturally, that's one of the one ways that people don't look. If you sit down in the park, they know where to sit because you're not going to look that way. And
Mm.
they could be sitting right in front of you and you won't see them because you
Mm.
just it's like people are easily read. They just know how people act. But some people, brother, got that sixth sense where they just pick up on things. And I am one of those people that get watched all the time. And what I mean by that is people call it gang stalking, whatever. Look, bro, I don't talk about it because people think I'm crazy, but it don't bother me. I don't freak out about it because I don't worry about it. But you know, I received letters in the mail say we've been watching you since you was a kid, and I was at the I was at a
Letters? You receive letters like that?
yeah, brother. I received letters
Man,
from secret societies in my early 20s.
shit.
Everything that people said came true, bro.
Wow.
Everything they said, yeah, you're gonna be a spiritual teacher in the future, but we want you to rock with us. Every 7 years, we pick 7 people, and because of your birth chart, you're one of the people that we need to rock with. You know what I'm saying? So I've been contacted throughout my life a lot by secret societies. I'm just gonna keep it real. I don't talk about it a lot because you know it's not really important, but yeah, they a lot of them contact me. And when I wasn't Brother Yosef, when I was just a 22-year-old kid and didn't really understand life, I didn't know my ass from a ham sandwich. Then at the end of the day, I would get these letters. So I think what it was, they were trying to get me early and control my mind to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? So I would just be on their side or whatever. I don't know, wherever they were trying to. Well, yeah, my mother's my witness, man, because I showed my mother these letters. She was like, what is going on? She didn't know what was happening. Like these, you know, and we was Christians back then, so everything was a satanic devil worship. It's a satanic cult. You know what I mean? That's what Mama used to say. It's a satanic cult. Throw it away. And these people were sending me books, bro, all kind of stuff. So yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow. Very, very interesting, my brother. Very interesting. Um, hmm. All right, let's ask this. Do the gods admire us and talk about us like we admire and discuss them? Yeah.
That's a good question. That's a good question. They do to their children. We are all children of the gods, right? We all have higher entities that we are. That's just a fact, right? Because they know the true you. Also, the ones that worship them, the ones who are initiated in some ways, they do certain things. Yeah, they talk about them like that, right? They do that. I haven't met every god. I've met a handful of gods in my life, but I've been around them long enough to see how they respond. I know that if you start working with Lord Ganesha, I know because I've seen him. when you first start working with him, he's not gonna listen to nothing you saying. He just not, because, and I'm gonna tell you why, because when people come begging, the guys just be looking at you like, who are you? First of all, who are you? I don't know you. You haven't set up an altar, and you just set up an altar that day, and the first thing you do is start begging. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people to build a relationship with the deities so they'll want to help you. Instead of you just, I need. You know, we do that a lot. So that's something people need to understand. But yeah, they do talk about us like that in a lot of ways, brother.
All right.
And they do admire a lot of people.
All right. Somebody said, wow, I have always watched this man's videos do Masterly Foolish. What's his actual channel? I need to sub ASAP. What's your channel, brother?
My channel is New Life Tools. NU space LYFE space tools. TOOLS. New Life Tools. Or just type in Brother Yosef and you'll see New Life Tools. That is my channel, family. Thank you for subscribing.
All right. Next wants to know, can you speak on the sinking of women menses when folks trying to run spells and hexes on women?
Oh man, that's an advanced question. That's a good question though, because, and that's deep that the person will ask that, because a lot of succubuses and incubuses come to women when they on their cycle. You know what I'm saying? They'll come to women because women are very powerful at that time magically, and the women give off a certain scent, let's just say, in the spiritual world, right? And especially if the moon is full that night. Okay, if the moon is full that night. So so yeah, during a full moon, that's when a lot of, well, also during a waning moon, but during a full moon, a lot of people get down with the hexes, they get down with blessings, they get down with a lot of things. Full moon is when it goes down in the spirit realm, family. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out how to answer that question, because it's like 3 questions in one. Sinking of women's menses when folks trying to put spells and hexes on them. Oh, okay. I don't think the sinking of the women's menses has anything to do with a person trying to put hexes and spells on them. But if you put a lot of women in a room together, yes, all their menses will naturally sync up. All their menses will naturally sync up. But I don't think that has anything to do with putting a spell on anybody, family. So that's the best way I can answer that question, because I don't really understand it to a certain extent.
All right. Pardon me, family. I had it on mute again. Pardon me on that. Let's get to another question. I'm probably going to take about 2 more questions, then we're going to get out of here, family. All right, let's get to this question. He might have answered this already. Can you give any information on the ancient people of Tennessee and the correlation between Tennessee people of the past and present, the lands and pyramids here, or any general info? Do you understand that question?
To a degree. I don't know anything about the ancient people of Tennessee, but I know how it connects to Egypt, because Memphis, they get that whole name from Memphis, Egypt. It was where you went to learn all your, it was the university. Mm-hmm. So it's not a coincidence. What a coincidence! I'll be traveling there, and one of my first past life regressions I ever had, besides seeing a sunrise, that's the first one I ever saw. But after that, I actually saw myself in Egypt. I had on a white, what do you call those things? Like an apron on, and all my students had black aprons, and I was teaching them how to work with the sun. I literally can see that. I walked into a spiritual store in my city. What's the young boy name? It's a boy in there. This boy is gifted, man. I think his name was Angel. But he was a Latino kid. As soon as I walked in the store, he saw me. He said, he used to be a teacher in Egypt. And I was like, what? The kid he just read me like a book. So they trying to like compare that energy, just like in Memphis, Tennessee, they got a big pyramid downtown, just like you would see in the pyramids in Egypt.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about what you call the ancient people of Tennessee, unless you're talking about the indigenous people, and how it relates to the people of the present. The only thing I got to tie that to is the people from Egypt. and how that and why Memphis, Tennessee was called that. And if you go to the zoo over there, there's so much stuff over there relating to, and it's crazy because Memphis, Tennessee is such a Christian city. It's on the Bible Belt. All these Christians is over there, but there's so much Egyptian and metaphysical occult stuff in the city. It's crazy. It's crazy,
Wow.
man. So powerful.
Wow. Ink Town Incorporated wants to know, what do babies be looking at? The fuck them babies be looking at, man?
That's the interesting question.
Yeah, good
Well,
question.
it's interesting and it's good because babies, they can actually see spirits. So you see a baby on the couch, sometimes they're laughing at nothing. Or are they? They're laughing at the ancestors. Babies can actually see their spirit guides. They can see because they're so pure. Their third eye open, they can sense everything. The babies know when they're getting loved. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny because I remember when my daughter was first born, she came out and she just cried. Soon later on my wife's chest, she just stopped crying. I got the whole video. It's like she knew, oh, finally, I know this person. And then when they took her off, she cried again. And I went over and I grabbed her hand and she just stopped crying. Because I started talking to her. She's like, oh, wait a minute, I think I know your voice. So babies are so open. I heard Brother Phil Valentine say one time, and it was so deep. He said, you can't teach a baby how to be a baby, but a baby will teach you how to be a father. And I was like, man, that is so true. You know what I'm saying? That is so true. So yeah, babies, they're open, man. That's what they be looking at. Be looking at spirits and different entities that only like your cats and your dogs can see them too. So my cat will go to the corner quick and just be looking in the corner. You know what I mean? So yeah, babies have that same energy, family. That's what they be looking at, spirits.
All right. Let me see. Okay, let's ask this. V Sis, what the fuck is that? V Sis wants to know, can you tell us in detail what the shift in the fourth dimension will be like once we fully shift into it, and when do you think it will happen?
Wow.
Yes.
I know this person too. They in my Patreon. They ask some very deep questions.
Yes.
So that's something I've been talking about for a long time, man. I've been getting told that by the spirit. I'm gonna just be 100% open, and I'm dropping a lot of extraterrestrial information on my Patreon right now.
Yes,
please, I do get abducted, brother. I do get abducted.
What do you mean, orphan? What do you mean, orphan?
All the time. Yeah. At least 2 or 3 times a month.
With your permission? Would you?
At first, it was not my permission, but now it's cool because I know the people who taken me. You know what I'm saying? It's the Zeta Reptilians is pretty much who taken me.
Say that again. The Zeta
Reptilians.
I mean, this channel, we about this life, so you don't be shy. Don't be shy, brother. We about this life on this channel. Okay. Delbert Blair, listen, Delbert Blair, Bobby. We listen. We done heard it all, brother. So just talk to us, brother.
And that's why I love Dr. Blair so much. Out of all the people I wanted to meet, I never met Dr. Phil. I never met Brother Bobby, but I met Delbert Blair. Right, I live in a small city in upstate New York, and he came here one day, and man, I remember I had the last dollar in my pocket. This like 2011. I made sure I went to that thing and shook his hand. I was just grateful to meet him. So, okay, appreciate that, brother. I'm gonna definitely talk about that. So, some people ask me, they say, where you get your information from? I can't find that in a book. Well, I'll be honest, I don't get a lot of my information from books. I can lucid dream, and I do have a lot of points in my life where extraterrestrials take me, and sometimes I'll be on the ships with other people. Right, I've told this story before. Sometimes I'll be on a ship with myself, and sometimes they don't even talk to me directly. Sometimes they do, but sometimes the ship talks to me. And to explain what I mean by that, the ship is a living, breathing entity. I can't explain how that works. I don't understand that technology yet, but I can tell you the ship is alive. That's all I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? It's alive and it's breathing and it's conscious of itself. It knows it's a ship and it's conscious and it tells me things. I was talking to them about a couple months ago, and they was telling me, they said by the year 2030, 60% of the people on the planet are gonna be millionaires.
Huh?
And I was like, what? They tell me stuff like that,
See,
right?
That is something I I've never heard that on the internet. That's
Yes,
brand new, groundbreaking. Say
yes.
that again. Say that.
They
What?
said by 2030,
Uh huh.
60% of the people will be millionaires on Earth because of
Shit.
the cryptocurrency.
Nigga, this is why I got you. Nigga, I can honestly see that happening. And this is what
Yes,
I'm doing, what I'm doing now. But
yeah,
nobody's talking. Nigga,
yeah,
shit. I gotta
yeah.
have a lot more personal conversations with you,
No
man.
doubt, no doubt. So,
Oh shit.
so
Yeah,
they tell me stuff like this, and I'm like, okay. So I did a video in 2019. It's called
yeah,
how to prepare. It's called what I see over the next 10 years, 2020 year to master, right?
yeah.
And I predicted stuff. So I say, yo, it's gonna start with a bang and da da da. And it's one of my most popular videos on my channel because everything I said was true and it's still coming true. Still coming true. I've been talking about universal basic income for years. I've been talking about all the stuff that's gonna happen for years, right? And here we are. Here we are. But that's something that they told me, and something they tell me I can't tell, but yeah, that's something they told me. They said, Yosef, by 2030, 60% of you guys will be millionaires. I said, what do you mean by you guys? He's like, people on the planet.
Yeah.
And they don't talk with their mouth, they talk in my mind. So they'll be standing in front of me and look at me dead in the face, and I could just hear them talking. I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
And I talk in my mind too. That's how they talk. They don't talk out of
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
and they're about the height of a human. They're not like the short gray aliens. They're like high. They're like tall. But I don't remember what I was talking about, bro. Oh, the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension. So I can't tell you the exact time when we going into the fourth dimension. I can't tell you the exact day. I just don't know it, right? But I know that we're shifting as we speak. This is why they're so heavy on keeping your vibration here. They're so heavy on tagging you so you can be here on this planet because they don't want you to rise. They don't want you to evolve, okay? Can you tell us in detail what the shit? Okay, so what it will be like is this, and I kind of talk about this a lot. And I talked about this 2 years ago. I said you're gonna start seeing a lot of people dying, right? You can call it from COVID, from the jabba dabba do, right, or whatever you want to call it, right? But a lot of people are gonna die because when they die, they're actually not dying, and what they're doing, they're shifting into another dimension where some people will stay in a third dimension, some people will go to the fourth dimension. That's what's gonna happen, okay? Now, as we merge with the fourth dimension, we're going to interact with more extraterrestrial groups, right? And I'm going to be talking about that as the years go on. We're going to interact with more extraterrestrial groups because they've been here, but we could never see them because this is something I tell people all the time. The third dimension is a hologram, right? Yes, I do believe in a flat earth. Yes, I do believe it because I can astro travel. A person can't tell me nothing. I know what the earth looked like when you're standing outside of it. I know. So I know we live on a flat earth. Do I want to debate that? No. You know what I'm saying? No. People have a right to believe what they want. I'm just telling y'all, brother Yosef believe. And what I know too is that there's ships up there. Okay. When the most honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about they got ships in the sky, he wasn't lying. A ship's a mile long, he wasn't lying. Right? And I believe he was an extraterrestrial. It's gonna keep it real. I believe the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was an extraterrestrial. Straight up.
Why you say that?
Nobody in the world was talking about UFOs back in his time.
Yes. Yes.
This man was on another level. But regardless of what people want to say, I really believe that. He was connected to stuff in another way. But on top of that, man, as we move deeper into the fourth dimension, you will see the rising technology. Technology will advance even more, and they will try to merge us. The ones who can't take the vibration of the new sun that's coming, right? The new son of God is coming. The sun is changing, transforming. Those who can't take the energy will merge with robots to be able to take the energy on, right? And a lot of them still ain't gonna be able to take it. They're gonna start building underground facilities. But for the most part, they will merge humans with robots for the two reasons: because we've been on low vibration. They've been giving us low vibrational foods. We ain't been absorbing sunlight, so we ain't been doing spiritual practices. So they pretty much doing it for that reason, and also to control us. Because if you're a cyborg, they can control you more, right? They can control you more. So that's what I see happening, and that's what I see as we go. They're already starting to come out with it little by little in the news. Oh, yeah, UFOs might be real, and this don't belong to us. So they're giving y'all little by little because they can't just snatch your reality away. They have to slowly give it to you You know what I mean? So they can slowly get you to accept, because people crazy. And what I mean by that is, if a UFO showed up today, people going, we'll believe that Jesus coming in the clouds before we believe a UFO coming. It's just a fact. And we see airplanes flying every day, so we know a UFO can fly up there. But we don't believe that. Well, we believe Jesus coming in the clouds, is going to stand up in the clouds and get us. So this is what's going to happen, family. We're going to merge the technology as the fourth dimension goes on. What we're seeing right now is just an intermission. You got to break things down and tear it apart before you can rebuild it. That's what's happening. And the extraterrestrials do have a lot that's going on with this. They do have a lot to do what's going on with this. And that's what the governments don't like. So they're trying to tag everybody so you can be their property. That's what's happening. So when they do come down and mention us, oh, you with them and you not with them. Okay, cool. I can rock with y'all. I can't rock with them over there. That's what's happening. So that's what you're going to see next, family, the merging of people with technology.
Let me ask you this. Oh, we hear about race being an illusion in the creation by mankind. One thing I notice is that when I listen to spiritual speakers from the what we call the Black community and what we call the white community. Let's just take the Dogon, for example. They talk about Sirius and the Sirius star system. I hear a lot of white people that do channeling. They talk about the Palladians and the Palladian star system. They say race is a myth, but is it a fact that we come from different star systems depending on how we look?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Because one thing people got to understand, that if you have African blood, your ancestors was created on the fourth dimension. You are not a third dimensional entity.
Okay.
We got to understand that, right? And extraterrestrials, they don't exist in the third dimension. That's why you never saw them for a long time. They don't exist here. They only exist. Now, they do have some in the inner earth. The inner earth is real. They do have some in the inner earth. But the extraterrestrials are fourth dimensional entities. And they come here by way of light ships. When you see a metal ship flying around, that's the government for sure. Well, light ships are fourth dimensional objects, because light can travel through any dimension. Right? I'm just telling y'all what they told me. Light can travel through any dimension. So they come here in light ships, fourth dimensional light ships. So oh, okay. I'm trying to think about what the question was asking. So when it comes to the different races, yes, race, it is an illusion. We focus too much on race because, and I'm gonna break this down too. This is something I learned too. All extraterrestrials are futuristic entities. They are not present. All extraterrestrials come from the future.
Wow.
Every single one of them.
Wait. All extraterrestrials come from the future.
All extraterrestrials come from the future. This is a new timeline, brother.
Why?
Because this is a hologram.
Because it's a hologram. Okay.
This is not real.
Yes.
This is where they come and play the game with us. Woo. We gotta get out of the game. I tell people all the time, you living in a game. Don't stop taking it so serious. Be like a child, be spiritual, and get out of here. Your third dimensional body ain't real, and it don't belong to you. It's the property of the Anunnaki.
Shit.
Those are the big dogs. And yes, you have other extraterrestrial DNA in your body, but at the same time, these entities, you can't mess with the OGs. If the Anunnaki say this is what they want, this is what they want. You can't, you know, you gonna do about it. You know what I'm saying?
No, brother, Yosef, that make me sound like a slave, dude. How can I do it? You know,
because I'm gonna tell you this, brother. Let me break this down to you. There is no such thing as your physical body. You are not real.
Yes.
Your soul is what's real.
Yes.
They make us in the third dimension focus on our body. So my real name is Joseph. So Joseph ain't a real person. He's an illusion. Yes. I'm just a soul. You can call me an extraterrestrial. You can call me a deity. You can call me an angel. I'm a soul. I come from one of them star families, and I'm having an experience as a human being.
Okay.
Okay. So my soul is what's real. My physical body is an experiment. It's just the truth. It's an extraterrestrial experiment. That's why they feel like they can do what they want to do to you, because your body is not your own. Now, does that mean that you don't impose to be responsible for it? No. If you win it, take care of it. But understand you renting it, because if it was yours, you could take it with you when you die. So we got to think about that. Your job is to leave generational wealth for your family, be spiritual, and get off this planet. That's all we're supposed to be doing. So The extraterrestrials come from the future. You are a child of your own grandchildren.
Mm.
Because the Anunnaki is nobody but us. I've been saying this since 2018. I did a video about this in 2018. The Anunnaki is nothing but us from the future. So we are there. Our grandchildren created us in so many words. Now the question is why? Because they messed up and they had to redo it over. That's why we here. And they take in the gold because the gold raises your frequency and it repairs DNA. So they eat gold, but they also use it for their ships and stuff like that. They use it for technology.
Yeah.
That's the big thing with the gold. So I hope that answered the question. I kind of went off on different things there.
No, you went off where we needed to go.
Okay.
Somebody said this that Hemet talk. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is definitely.
I'm honored to be even prepared. You know.
Yeah, this is definitely that. Wow. Yeah, this is definitely that Hemet talk. I'm trying to look at questions and trying to absorb the information this brother spin at the same time, and it's a little hard. I'm definitely interested in what the brother's saying.
Well, yeah, brother, I get down on the extraterrestrial talk, and if you watch my channel, I never talk about UFOs or extraterrestrials like that. I did maybe two videos on it. That's because you know it's gonna be a time for that.
So, with the original question I asked, do you think what we call the majority of my audience are melanated beings, and they are because of our particular experience in our particular movie in this time realm, we are heavily interested in where we come from because we've been lied to so much. So are we definitely from the Sirius? Do we come from the Palladian star system, the Sirius star system, the Andromeda star system? Like, is there a particular star system? Because we want to know, why the fuck am I experiencing what I'm experiencing? Do we all come from the same star system, the Sirius star system?
That's a good question, brother. Some of us do. But at the same time, if you understand the constellations, the star systems, there's melanated entities in all of them.
Okay.
All of them have melanated entities. Some of them have tone heads. Some of them look like us. Some of them look like the Anunnaki. Some of them are like the Dogons. Have a whole nother story than other people who deal with other types of science about where they came from, right? Because even when you deal with the Mayans, right, and their pyramids point at the Draco star system, dealing with the Draco star system, we know the Mayans didn't build them pyramids. Who built those pyramids? The Short Twa Olmecs. Who was the Martians, right? Who were the Martians? And do they look like the Dogon people? They look a little bit different. That's a whole other group of melanated entities right there. So what I'm trying to say is that when we talk about us as a people, there's so many varieties and different variations. Like prime example, when Enki created humans, you had Enlil, who had a lot to do with creating a certain aspect of humans too. So to this day, Enki only want to deal with black people. He don't want to deal with no other race on the planet. But at the same time, he had a renegade group that broke away, and they the ones that's keeping us down. So it's Inky's own people that's keeping us down. Because if we ever let these people get powerful again, like they once was when they was in Lemuria and Atlantis, we're gonna have a problem. Because we're special because we are the only group in the whole cosmos that have this many types of extraterrestrial DNA inside of our body. Everybody want to see what we're gonna become.
Say it again. We have the most extraterrestrial.
We have the most different groups of extraterrestrials in our DNA than any other group in the universe.
In the universe?
In the universe.
No.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, say that.
Absolutely. I broke that down on my Patreon.
No, we're not talking about this world.
We're talking about
in the universe.
In the universe.
Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All
because
these planets.
Yes.
In the universe.
Yes, in the universe. And I'm gonna tell you why, brother. Because you got to understand real quick is that when the Anunnaki came here to create us, there was already a certain hominoid that was here.
Yeah.
They took that hominoid that other extraterrestrial groups was already playing with, and they said, "Yeah, man, this mine right here." When they like, "Yo, that belonged to me." Well, it's mine now. You know you're gonna do about it. And they took that and inserted their DNA into that and created humans. That's how that happens. So we are a mixture of the Galactic Council, which has 24 elders. That's 24 different genes right there.
Yes.
And then you got other extraterrestrial groups that was already here before the Galactic Council came that had hominoids walking around. You see what I'm saying? So yes, there's other groups out there, but they're pure. The Pleiadians are the Pleiadians. The Octurians are the Octurians, right? The Insectillions are the Insectillians. And they do have different things going on different planets, right? But we are unique because there's so many people invested in this business down here. I hate to look at us like that, but we're an investment.
It's a business.
Everybody wants to say, what are these people going to become?
So everybody's watching. They're curious about what we're going to become.
Absolutely. And also, they also purposely gave us an adversary.
The white man.
Not even, man, listen, bro. I'm going to tell you something, man. You'll be surprised who's behind all this. Yes, it's reptilians, but it's also the Anunnaki, brother. Our own people who created us is behind it because, like I keep saying, there's a renegade group that broke away from Inky.
Yeah.
That renegade group is some of them that look just like us. They Anunnakis. They don't like you because they hate what Inky created. And Inky's, that's a whole other story. I don't want to get off the thing, but a lot of things, but Inky wasn't even supposed to create us like that. But that's a whole other story. And Lil had a problem. I mean, his father, Anu had a problem with that. But that's a whole nother story. But so there's a lot of mess going on, bro. But being that Inky's the head honcho, he said, yo, let them stay there. Let's give these people an adversary. Because at one time we was all powerful, bro. And they shut our DNA down. We were standing up to our own parents and say, yo, we're going to do what we want to do. They said, no, we're going to shut off y'all DNA. So when you hear the Bible say we broke up the languages, they shut off the DNA because your language is connected to your DNA. So when they shut that down, now man is back on a lower state. Let's see what he's going to do now. And let's give him an adversary and he'll grow better in the way that we want him to grow.
Man, this is a powerful, powerful, powerful show, brother. We got over 1,300 people in the chat room. I want to thank everybody for watching, tuning in, listening. Oh, this is powerful. We about to approach the 2-hour mark. Yeah,
2 hours? Wow.
Yeah, that fast, right? Yeah, 2-hour mark. I appreciate it. I'm looking at the chat right now. Okay, yeah, I see all the compliments. Family, like I said, make sure your support. Brother Yosef, what is you got a cash app, brother?
Yes, it's $ capital BRO, capital Y, lowercase OSEF, bro Yosef.
Bro
Yosef. Bro Yosef.
$ bro Yosef. And as on the screen, you see $ Black Magic 363. Family, I watch these other channels all day. I see the support. It absolutely astounds me that the esoteric community doesn't support the way the other platforms support. So I appreciate the compliments, but I will definitely appreciate support even more. A different kind of a support. The support that other channels get. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I do when somebody helps me and they're able to help my life. I support in ways that I know that could benefit them. So yeah, I want y'all to like I'm the plug. And this is some special shit that I'm presenting to y'all. I'm not humble about. I'm confident in what I do. Brother Yosef, this show tonight, y'all know this was top tier shit. This was God tier shit tonight. So yeah, show support, man. I'm talking about even if it's $1, $2, $3. Show support. Let me know what I'm doing is right. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's with me or let Brother Yosef call me and say, yo, them niggas support. You know what I'm saying? Let me hear that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, okay, good. They appreciate the information. So with that being said, let me see if I get one. I'm gonna get one more question from the chat. But this is just such a good live, man.
No doubt. I could talk all night, brother.
Oh man. I get that feeling. I get that feeling.
You get me going. I'll open up about everything, bro. I always told myself I'm not gonna talk about the aliens.
You got me going. That alien talk. That's the shit, right? I want to hear about that, brother.
Okay.
You're so scared of nigga. We so bent on. We so worried about surviving the police fucking us up. We can't think about nothing else. Nothing else. You talk about alien niggas is like, I don't want to hear about that. The police is on the corner. So For like you said, for Elijah Muhammad to have that talk back in the 60s, like, bro, that's amazing. That's absolutely
And let me
amazing.
say this too. And let me say this too, brother. A lot of people, every time I drop science, a lot of people bring in like, hey, what about white folk? You know what I'm saying? And people
Yeah,
ask me a lot, is there such thing as white extraterrestrials? And I
yeah.
tell them yes.
Uh-huh.
And they say, well, how is that possible? I said, because they come from the future.
Mm,
They came from the future.
mm,
So when you talking about the tall whites or these different other groups, and don't get it twisted, the Galactic Council do not look like the blonde hair, blue eyed people that they put up there. That is not true at all. You know what I'm saying? Is there a group that looks like them? Absolutely. The
mm.
Nordics, they definitely look like them. But this is so what we talking about here, family, is a big video game we living in.
Whew.
And we just redoing it all over again because we messed up the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Your soul is playing a video game. That's all you doing.
Shit.
And we trying to win the game. Everybody trying to win a game. That's all we doing, family.
That's it. Let me so a brother wants to know, Dark Tan Superman wants to know any information on mushrooms for dimensional travel.
Okay, that's a good question. I don't really personally talk about that because I don't deal with mushrooms like that. But I get that question all the time. You know what I'm saying about mushrooms? People want to
Why
know
you don't
what.
deal with mushrooms? I just want to ask. Why you
I'll
don't?
be honest, I just never got into it. I don't want to say like it's bad because it's not. Mushrooms are good, right? But it's good. I believe in it like this. If you're gonna do mushrooms or even like ayahuasca or anything else like that, I would say that you got to be careful. You got to do it with somebody that know what they're doing because you can open your energy up to something that's been waiting to get in. You can open a door. I know people don't want to hear it, but I've seen it happen. You can open a door and you don't know how to close it, and that door, all of a sudden, you got this extreme level. Listen, I used to work at a hospital years ago, and we had this white guy come in there one time. He wouldn't sleep, bro. This dude didn't sleep for like 5 days. He just wouldn't go to sleep, and they said that he was doing was it LSD or he was taking some kind of it was peyote. This dude was doing
Okay.
peyote.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And he did peyote, and when he did it, bro, he opened the door. Now I got eyes to see, so I'm looking at this dude, and I can see like this big, will look like gray smoke coming out the back of his neck. I don't understand what that means to this day, but there was something open in this man where he couldn't close the door, bro, and it
Mm.
came to the point where they thought he died because they looked on the camera, he just passed out. His body just shut down. But as soon as he shut down, he just up for another 5 6 days. He can't sleep. So he stays up until his body shuts off and it drives him crazy, bro. It was literally driving him nuts. So people got to be careful with that. I understand microdosing and people cool, but I would just say there's nothing wrong with mushrooms. Doing it in a safe environment with a shaman because mushrooms are supposed to be done to look into your soul so you can get healed, right? A lot of these psychedelics, when you're dealing with psychedelics, the word psyche means soul. These things are
Right.
supposed to heal your soul. So the shaman knows how to go in there and point to Mother Ayahuasca or show you the spirits that's messing with you, or show you yourself, whatever it is, and help you heal yourself through that. That's what that's supposed to be for, these psychedelics. But people do it for recreation today. And I understand why people are doing it, but I want to tell people you can learn how to go to the spirit world without doing those things. You don't really need them like that. But I got nothing against mushrooms.
Indeed, indeed, man. Like I said, man, what a powerful, powerful show. Wow. Ah, family.
Yeah.
Let me see what's going on. We got about we still got about 1,400 people in the chat. Family, I gotta end it now. We've been over here over 2 hours. I'm gonna end it. Yeah, I will go longer, but I'm gonna end it now. It's time to,
Next time. Next time.
yeah, next time it's time to wrap it up. I probably had a brother Yosef on here in November. I think November will be a good time to have a brother on here again. Once a month, I think it'd be good to have his brother's energy resurface on his channel and teach us certain things. I'm getting the cash apps. Yeah, I appreciate the cash apps.
Me too. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
family.
yeah, and the brothers getting cash apps too.
Yep.
So I
Thank
made
you.
an announcement. Listen, you gotta make sure we appreciate it at what we do.
Absolutely.
Also, make sure you go to blackmagicuniversity.com. We got the best courses to bring you into the new paradigm. There's a new world being formed, and you got to be ready for it. Don't get left in the old paradigm. Go to Black Magic University I'm getting another yeah. Shout out to Sinai. Yeah, Sinai. Yeah. So many wonderful people sending the donations. I appreciate it. Hey, before we get out of here, brother Yosef, man, I appreciate you and what you do.
Thank you, brother.
Once again, tell the people your contact information. I know you got an event coming up. Tell the people about that once again before we get out of here, brother.
Okay, so my contact information is you can hit me on email at New Life Tools, NULYFE tools at gmail.com. If you want a consultation or if you need to ask a question, ask a question. I still answer questions, believe it or not. But there'd be so many people I try to get to when I can. I would tell people don't even contact me on Instagram. But my Instagram is a New Life Tools on Instagram. But my Instagram message is so full, don't even try to, hit me up an email. Yeah, it's just too many people. You can also follow me on Patreon and New Life Tools Ministries on Patreon. And yes, we have the Master Student Conference coming up November 26th. It's gonna be me, Conjure Queen, brother Dreamwise and his wife, Dira Wise, Sister Mook, Will Caprew, and Travis Magus. And we're gonna have a good conference and show people some new information that they can take them to the next year.
All right. Drinking water as you speak with that. Yeah, powerful show tonight. Make sure you support the brother and everything he do. We're talking about spiritually transmitted diseases. I mean, it was a dynamic show. Just understand, family, before we get out of here, we only see a small fraction of the life spectrum. So there's so many things that's happening around us on it every day that we can't see. Every day. Even like I said earlier, brother Yosef, somebody staring at you down the block. I mean, this happened to me personally before. I'm staring at a girl. I'm like, damn, she look good. When I'm younger, of course. I'm like, damn, shorty look good. All of a sudden, she look at me. I'm like, oh shit, how the fuck she see me looking at me? You know what I'm saying? You feel like a pervert. You like, oh shit, did I do something wrong?
Caught you looking.
Yeah, caught you looking. You know what I'm saying? So there's an invisible field around us all day, every day. We just have to learn to tap into it. Rewind this video, buy some of the things the brother talked about to protect yourself. But I mean, this is dope. Brother Yosef, man, thank you once again. And I look forward to having you on here in a month time in November, my brother, so we can have another great spiritual conversation for the people and these new times that we're going through.
No doubt. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate you.
Indeed. Family, I see you. Peace.
Peace, family. Peace.